Hello everyone, this is Amritpal Singh. Welcome to the next video. Guys, in this video I'll be talking about HBase. So what is HBase? Guys, Apache HBase is a NoSQL database which is working on the top of Apache Hadoop. Alright, so I'll be talking about its introduction, its architecture and the terminology. Alright, so let's begin, guys. So guys, we all are aware of the fact that Apache Hadoop is nothing but consisting of the major components with the likes of HDFS and MapReduce. So we use HDFS for storing the data, alright, and we use MapReduce for doing the processing. So it's a computational engine that we got in Hadoop. So there's a one issue with the Apache Hadoop, that HDFS lacks random read-write access capability, right? So Apache Hadoop is good for or HDFS is good for sequential data access, but if you want to have a random read-write access, that's where Hadoop or HDFS lacks. All right, and this is where HBase comes into the picture. So HBase is available; it come into the picture because of that drawback which is available with the HDFS. So when would I use Apache HBase, guys? So as I've already told you, it's a NoSQL database which runs on the top of Hadoop cluster and provides you random real-time read-write access to your data. All right. So if you want real-time or you want the random read-write access, right, then you have to go with Apache HBase. So we have some features, guys, in the Apache HBase. Guys, you will be finding some similarity or some differences if we compare with SQL or your traditional RDBMS. So in the case of your HBase, we store the key value pairs in columnar fashion. Guys, in the case of Apache HBase, it stores the data in a columnar fashion. It's not a row oriented database as traditional databases. It's a columnar oriented database. So in this case, the columns are clubbed together as column families. So it's a new thing for you. All right, I can understand because we haven't used the word column family, but in the case of the HBase, we use the term column family, where the columns are clubbed together as a column family. So I'll be showing you some diagrammatical representation as well, with the help of which I guess you'll be more confident and clear with this term. All right. So next point is very important one. It provides low latency. It means there's a very less delay to small amounts of data from within a large data set. So if you want to access some data from a large data set, it gives you very less latency, means very less delay. Another thing is it provides flexible data model as well. So we have a flexible or we have a data model. We also get this kind of flexibility in MongoDB as well. All right, so it's giving us the flexible data model. So some of the features of columnar database, as I've already talked about, that it's have a columnar database. It's not not like a traditional row oriented database, right? So a columnar oriented DBMS or database management system is a database management system which stores the data by column rather than by row. So what's the reason behind it? Why we are going towards columnar database, right? I'll just let you know in a while. Both the columnar and row oriented databases can use the traditional languages like SQL to load and perform queries. Like in the case of traditional RDBMS, we use a create table. We use a create keyword to create a table. In the case of HBase, also we use a create keyword. It means like we are using some kind of traditional database query languages like SQL to perform loading and performing some operations. All right, this is the reason why we are going with storing data in columns then by rows, because here with the help of this one we can precisely access the data. It needs to answer a query rather than scanning and discarding unwanted data in rows. It means if you want to get the data quickly and you don't want to scan or you don't want to go through all the content to get that little piece of data, go with the HBase. All right, so it helps us in getting a data or fetching a data in a with a low latency, which in the case of traditional database, that when we try to fetch a data, if we compare with the HBase, it has some higher latency. All right, so if we store data in a columns then by rows, so database can more precisely access the data. It needs to answer a query rather than scanning or discarding unwanted data in a row. So it means instead of going to the unwanted data or the irrelevant data which is not relevant to my query, all right, you should go with the HBase. All right, so this is the terminology, guys, we use in HBase. The very first thing is table. Although table is not a new word for us, all right, we use a table in almost all the database management system. So table is nothing but a collection of rows, And what is row? A row is a collection of column families. In the next slide I'll be showing you what is column family, like diagrammatically how it represents. So column family is nothing but a collection of columns. So multiple, so we can say a one column family is nothing but the it's consisting of multiple column. All right. So what is column? It's individual data items. All right. Then we have a timestamp. So why we require timestamp? Because it helps us in having the multiple versions of a row. So for versioning, for giving the multiple storing multiple version of a row. Let's suppose if you keep on updating our data. Actually, the thing is, guys, we all know that the HBase make use of HDFS behind the scenes, right? So it's not easy to update the data. So over there, this timestamp or this version come into play. Next is row key. So row key is nothing but a unique identifier for the table row, or we can say it's like a primary key for us, which give us the unique identifier or UID. All right. So another point that we use in HBase is cell. So what is cell? It's a combination of three things: row, column, version. So this tuple is representing a cell. Okay. Then last thing is namespace. It's nothing but a logical grouping of a tables in HBase. It's termed as namespace. So this is some of the terminology that we use in HBase. All right. So let's move further. This is the diagrammatical representation that how the table or how table look like in HBase, right? What's the table structure? You can see here in very left side we have a row key, which is representing the things uniquely. Then we have a timestamp just to maintain versions. Then we have column family. Under the column family we can have multiple columns available. So it means we can have multiple column families, and under those column families we can have multiple columns available as well. All right, I hope it's fine. So guys, this is the logical model, or this is how we can represent the things in more detailed fashion. Just check it out. You can see in this case this is representing a row key. All right, this is my column family, social network. Activity is my column family. SN name, user ID, page address is my columns, and this is a cell. This is a cell we are having. All right, so this is the logical data model that we follow in Apache HBase. Moving further, guys, like if we talk about the architecture now, like this is the design idea. You can see that at very top we have a root, followed by we have some set of region servers. Actually, in this case, HBase is nothing but it's a distributed database which make use of Zookeeper behind the scenes to manage the clusters, and HDFS as an underlying storage. You can see we have a HDFS for storing our data. So if we talk about this architecture, it consists of the HMaster, which I'll talk about in next representation, and you can see this complete design idea. In this case, you can check it out. Like we have a we are having the master at very top, which is a root, or we can say like kind of a master slave architecture. Bottom we have a region servers. All right, and then we have a HDFS. So let's talk about these things in detail, guys. Actually, if we talk about HBase, it consists of two things: HMaster and HRegionServer, server, and it follows the master slave architecture. As I've already told you, in the case of Hadoop, also in multiple frameworks we use this master slave architecture. Actually, guys, in the case of the HBase, it divides the table into multiple blocks. All right, which we call it as HRegionServer, and it stores them in a HRegionServer server. So these are the HRegionServer servers available. All right. When you open up the daemons of this HBase, when you write start-hbase.sh in your terminal, you must get the HMaster as a daemon under JPS command. All right. So this is a design idea. So we have a one master, we have some slaves, and we are using underlying storage as HDFS. So let's talk about this architecture in little detail. Right. This is the diagrammatical representation. Now check it out. We have a client, we have HMaster. All right. If we talk about the very first thing, I've already told you. We have a HMaster at very top. It's nothing but it's responsible for managing all the HRegionServer servers. You can see under this HMaster we have these two region servers available. This one. It doesn't store data like with itself. Okay, so we can compare again it with your architecture of Hadoop also, in which we have a name node available, we have a data node available. So this is similar kind of architecture we are having here also. So all the nodes in the cluster, okay, it's managed, it's coordinated by Zookeeper. So this is a requirement of Zookeeper, which is coordinating all the things. All right. So this is the this is nothing but a simple view of the architecture, guys. Okay, in addition to managing all the H region servers, it also monitors the health of all the H region server as well. Again, that I've already told you, like I'm just comparing it with your name node data node relationship, in which data node had to send some heartbeats to the name node just to tell that I'm okay, I'm working fine, I'm alive, right? So similar to this, like it's also monitoring the health of all region servers, H region servers. Okay, so if we talk about H region, we also have a term available, H region, guys. It's again very common among all the frameworks, all the tools of big data. When the size of a table exceeds some value, some threshold value, HBase will automatically divide that table into different areas, okay, each of which contains a subset of all the rows in a table. This is called H region. Okay, so a complete data table is stored in a multiple H regions. So if we talk about H region server, again I've told you that all the data in HBase is generally stored in HDFS, right? So users can obtain the data through the series of H region servers. So it's kind of a slave for us, and you can see it's indirectly connected with your HDFS as well. So H region is consisting of multiple H stores also. We also have a concept of, you can see here we have a stores available as well. So what is H store? So guys, you can see it in this picture also, we have a store available. It's a core of HBase storage, which is consisting of mem store, which is memory store, and store files. Alright, like in the if we talk about Hadoop architecture, we are having some we have a log files available, we have FS images available. So similarly to this, we are having some these kind of components here also. So what is mem store? It's a memory buffer. Alright, mem store, this one. So data written by the user will first be put in a mem store. When the mem store is full, flush will be a store file. It means that we have then this store file come into play. When the data written when the mem store is full, then this will come into play. Okay, so so just to conclude this architecture, guys, I have written some points here. So HBase consisting of H master and H region server. I've told you kind of a master slave architecture it follows. So HBase divides the logical table into multiple data blocks, H region, and stores them in a H region server. So H master is responsible for managing all the H region servers. It means like it's kind of a master, or it's kind of a name node, which is taking care of all the data nodes if we compare with Hadoop. So all the nodes in a cluster are coordinated by zookeeper, okay, and the complete table data is stored in a multiple H regions. So this is how HBase works. Like we can say in a simple one line that it have a distributed environment in which the table data will be divided across multiple regions. All right, so that we can have availability of a data. All right, so it provides a lot of advantages, because in all the big data tools or frameworks we have a similar kind of architecture or the principle. All right, so this concludes this video. I hope, guys, you must have understood the concept, like how what is HBase, its terminology, its introduction, its architecture. All right, so in case if you find something is not clear, please do comment on this video. I'll be happy to address those issues if you're having. All right, thank you, guys. See you in next video.